Good evening. How are you then? And how am I? I'm very well, thank you very much. How are you? Well, I'm fine, thank you. That's why I said, how are you then? It's Bob. It's BOBCAST. It's Tuesday night. It's the 19th. Yep, it's the 19th of May. And I'm with you for the next 12, 13 minutes or so. Nice to be here. And whatever time you're listening, it's nice to have you. If you're listening at night, then I'll say good evening to you and good night to you later on. If you're listening in the morning, I'll try to wake you up. If you're in the afternoon, then I'll make sure you don't have a wee sleep with your tea and crumpets. If it's in the evening, then you better hurry up or you'll miss out and you'll be watching tomorrow's. So, nice to be here. It's been an interesting day. Yeah, been a Tuesday. I've been doing lots of telephoning today and been my day for phoning. So I started about 2 o'clock and finished nearly 6. I think I told you I spent 43 hours on the phone in my last billing period from Vodafone. So that's amazing. Isn't that amazing what you can do off your telephone? You know, it's incredible. And this tiny little thing, this little Apple, or whatever it is, there it is. Look, there's a stopwatch going, so I know how long I'm going on it. It is just the most incredible thing, and amazes me, absolutely amazes me. You know, I remember in 1988, I think it was, maybe it was 87, could have been 86, and I had a phone put in my car. I just got this new Audi, and those of you who know me know that I love cars. And I got this new Audi. I'm very proud of it. Oh, by the way, what did the bald man exclaim when he received a comb for a present? He said, "Thanks, I'll never part with it." I think I told you that yesterday. Did you hear about the frog who was raised by bunnies? All he could say was rabbit, 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 rabbit. Yeah, light travels faster than sound, and that's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. So back in 86, I had this phone put in my car, and I just got this new Audi. It was lovely, really nice. D176HNW it was, and yeah, lovely. Got it on the 1st of August. Day of the new registration in those days. So this phone was put in, and I'd only had the car a few days, so it must have been 86. And this guy came round to the office in Wokingham, where I was working in those days. And he spent the whole morning fitting the phone in the car, put a box in the boot, and then I saw him kneeling on the roof, or standing sort of on the boot, in the boot almost, and drilling a hole in the back of my car where he put the aerial in. And then he sneaked wires around for the hands-free system and everything else. It was amazing. And he said to me, you know, Mr. King, one day you'll be carrying a phone like this around in your pocket. And we all laughed. You know, isn't it amazing how it's changed? When I left work, well, real work, you know, when I stopped having a real job, I left the office in 1992. And it was June 92 that I left. And I liberated a computer from the office. I worked for a big firm in London, and we'd just done an evaluation and a sort of check-up on the number of computers we had. And we realised that we had 1.5 computers per person. So then we started controlling the PCs a bit more, and sort of little laptops that were just beginning to come in. Anyhow, I decided to liberate a PC from the office, and I liberated an IBM PS2. Some of you may remember that. And it was quite a nice new one. I mean, I did it all legally, of course. Of course, I was going to be a vicar. And that was funny. I had announced at work I was going to be a vicar. And I said, there's good news and bad news. Good news is I'm leaving. The bad news is I'm not leaving for 3 months, or 6 months, I think it was. And we had this room full of people. Everyone was there. And someone said, "Oh, what's you going to do?" And I said, "I'm going to go and train to be a vicar." And there was a sort of deathly silence in the room. And then somebody put his hand up and said, "Bob, can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "If you're going to be a vicar," he said, "is that true?" I said, "Of course it's true. Yes, I'm going to be a vicar." And he said, "Is there any chance of a couple of Cliff Richard tickets?" So anyhow, before I left, I decided to liberate an IBM PS2 from the office so I could take it to Theological College with me. And I sent it down to our engineering department, and I said, listen, there's a new piece of software just come out called Disk Doubler. Could you put it on for me? And now bearing in mind that we were ever traded anywhere in the world, we were dealing with it. So we were right at the cutting edge of technology. And, or in my case, the sort of blundering through edge of technology, but there we are. Anyhow, and I remember our head of technical rang and said, Mr. King, he said, why do you need Disk Doubler? And I said, because it's, a new piece of software, I want it on there. He said, you've got 20 megabytes of hard disk. He said, Disk Doubler would take it up to 36 megabytes, so it didn't quite double it. Compressed all the files, by the way, if you want to know how it worked. He said, you'll never need 36 megabytes of hard disk. What have we got now? Terabytes, 2 or 3 terabytes? It is amazing. It is amazing. A day without sunshine is like, night. Of course it is. Anyhow, hope your day's been okay. I've done lots of phone calls, spoken to some very interesting people, had a good day, and been doing some sort of interesting things. But I've been thinking about poetry as well, and I've got some more Glaswegian poetry, and I know that yesterday's poem went down very well. But I was thinking today about Irish poetry and limericks. Yes, you got the pun there. You picked me up. By the way, if one shoe fits, just get another one the same. And I was thinking about limericks, and I just did a little bit of work on limericks, because I do know quite a lot of limericks, but none of the ones that I know I can say on BOBCAST, I'm afraid. Even I can't go that far. I would be shot, hung, drawn, and quartered were I to go as far as that and to give you some of the limericks that I know. However, you might know them too, so have a smile about limericks. But the great popularizer of the limerick was a Victorian artist and poet called Edward Lear, born 1812. That was a great overture to life, wasn't it? Do 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 do. Boom! Gosh, I remember seeing the 1812 overture in Hereford Cathedral, seeing it, hearing it, and then this huge cannon in the midst of it. The whole building shook when they let it off. That was at the end of one of the Three Choirs festivals, and I was lucky enough to be sitting up front, as you do. Anyhow, there we go. How did I talk about that? Yes, of course, Edward Lear. Ooh, bit leery is our Edward. These are some of his favourite limericks. These were the ones that he was famous for. There was an old person of Ischia whose conduct grew friskier and friskier. He danced hornpipes and jigs and ate thousands of figs, that lively old person of Ischia. There was an old man in a boat who said, I'm afloat, I'm afloat. When they said, no, you ain't, he was ready to faint, that unhappy old man in a boat. They're so different, aren't they, to the ones that we have now? There was an old person of Ewell who chiefly subsisted on gruel. But to make it more nice, he inserted some mice, which refreshed the old person of Ewell. There was a young lady whose nose continually prospers and grows. When it grew out of sight, she exclaimed in a fright, oh, farewell to the end of my nose. Like that. There was an old person of Dean who dined on 1 pea and 1 bean. For he said more than that would make me too fat. That cautious old person of Dean. Well, there's quite a few. There's loads more. There's loads more. I just found another page of them. Michael Palin, a handsome young fellow called Frears, was attracted to girls by their ears. He traversed the globe in search of a lobe, and the sight would reduce him to tears. Very nice indeed. The limerick is furtive and mean, you must keep it in close quarantine, or it sneaks to the slums and quickly becomes disorderly, drunk and obscene. That was also by Edward Lear. So yeah, a bit of a change there. So some simple limericks. Have you got any limericks? Ones that I could actually tell, please. Ones that I could tell. I have to be very careful because every time I get naked in the bathroom, the shower gets turned on. Oh, that was my last joke. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm going to have to find something else for the end, but I'll do that as we go along. So, we're rapidly running out of time on this Bobcast. Somebody sent me a note. Andrew sent me a note. He also sent me some new jokes, so thank you, Andrew. And he said you have done over 40 of these now. So 40 days and 40 nights, I was fasting in the field. I was locked down wearing tights. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. I don't know, whatever it was. But anyhow, yes, I'm a bit high tonight. Don't know why. I've been weeding in the garden. But no, I'm just a bit high. Actually, I haven't been out in the garden at all because it's been quite wet and cold. It was so cold last night I had to put my electric blanket on. Gosh, that sums it up, doesn't it? Here I am in May with the electric blanket on. Dear oh dear. Anyhow, I hope your day tomorrow is good. Hope your day today has been all right. And the other thing I've been doing, by the way, is looking for some Not the 9 o'clock news and chewing the fat. But I'll talk about that possibly tomorrow if I remember. But I probably won't. If you're not feeling very good, then I hope you feel a bit better tomorrow. If you're sneezing, coughing, if you can't smell, can't taste, then remember, that's all part of this old coronavirus. Stay till lockdown, see what Nicola says we're going to do on Thursday. And we will be following, as a church, we'll be following exactly the Scottish Government rules and the College of Bishop rules, because that's what we do. And we won't be doing anything else. And look after yourselves, take care. I think it's going to be hot tomorrow. If it is, I'm going to lie in the garden. No, I tell you the truth. So if it is hot tomorrow, I think I'll be out there sunbathing on my old Lafuma chairs, which make you almost weightless and you glide backwards and forwards on them. Fabulous. I love them. Absolutely love them. Okay. So, take care. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Remember, this is Mental Health Awareness Week, and it's okay not to feel okay, and to talk to somebody and just say, actually, this is a bit tough. I'm having a bad day. That's fine. That's just as it should be. Because if there was anything else wrong with it, oh, by the way, I got my test results today. I'm healthy. So thank you to those who've been praying for me. And I haven't got any of the nasty diseases I thought I might have. But so I'm really pleased about that. Thank you to the NHS for sorting all that out for me. Really appreciate it. Okay, you take care. Look after yourselves. And yeah. Watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight. And give your angels charge over those who sleep, like Isla. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones, and bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones, and pity your afflicted ones. Shield your joyous ones, and all for your love's sake. Amen. And we give thanks for those who've gone before us as well. May the souls of the faithful, through the mercy of God, rest in peace and rise in glory. Give a man a fish, and he will eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he will sit in a boat all day drinking beer. Or a woman. Actually, I apologise again for my exclusive language. God gave you toes as a device for finding furniture in the dark. I like that. I always remember a young person I knew in Webley had been ceremoniously or unceremoniously dumped by her boyfriend. And she just said, Bob, I'm praying that he may stand on a 3-pin plug the wrong way up in the middle of the night in his bare feet. Ooh. Night, God bless you. Take care. Bye.